Something happened in Davos that the crypto world hasn't fully grasped yet. DFINITY quietly dropped what might be the most significant institutional announcement in internet computers history. And the timing is not just a coincidence. European governments are literally banning American cloud services, and ICP just positioned itself as the solution. So here's what we're talking about today. First, I'll explain what Swiss Subnet actually is and why the timing of this announcement during Davos week is so strategic. Then I'll break down the political connections behind this project, because honestly, that's where it gets really interesting. After that, we'll look at the state-backed partnership with Liechtenstein that makes this different from typical crypto announcements. And finally, I'll show you how this fits into a much bigger picture involving the United Nations, ETH Zurich, and a growing movement towards sovereign cloud infrastructure across Europe. If you are finding value in my videos, hit subscribe and smash that like. The algorithm buries crypto content that doesn't get engagement, and the only way ICP news reaches new people is if you help push it there. Now back to the video. So what exactly is Swiss Subnet? At its core, it's a dedicated internet computer subnet where all 13 nodes are located exclusively in Switzerland and Liechtenstein. 10 nodes spread across Swiss cantons, 3 in Liechtenstein. That means every piece of data processed on this subnet stays under Swiss and Liechtenstein legal jurisdiction. Now, why does that matter? Think about it this way. If you're a Swiss bank, a hospital, or a government agency, you can't just use any cloud infrastructure. You have legal obligations around where your data lives and who can access it. Swiss Subnet solves this. It's sovereign infrastructure built specifically for enterprises and institutions that need what they call verifiable execution and jurisdictional clarity, and is doing this without relying on American hyperscalers like AWS, Microsoft, or Google. This isn't DFINITY's first geographic subnet, by the way. The European subnet launched back in December 2023 and proved the model works. Swiss Subnet takes it further by adding explicit state-level partnerships and political backing. Here's where things get interesting. The timing of this announcement isn't random. World Computer Day happened in Davos on January 20th, right in the middle of the World Economic Forum week. That's deliberate positioning. But more importantly, look at what's been happening in Switzerland. Just last month, the Swiss privacy regulator PrivaTIM essentially moved to ban American cloud services for government agencies. They concluded that when Swiss government agencies store sensitive citizen data with providers subject to the US Cloud Act, they're acting unconstitutionally. The US Cloud Act from 2018 gives American authorities the ability to request data from tech companies regardless of where the servers are physically located. So even if Microsoft or Amazon has data centers in Zurich, that data is still potentially accessible to US authorities. Swiss regulators are saying that's not acceptable for schools, hospitals, police forces, or any agency handling protected information. This creates a massive problem for Swiss institutions. They've already started migrating to cloud platforms. Reversing that means significant costs and operational headaches. Their options are basically on-premises infrastructure, smaller European providers that often lack the features of big tech, or new sovereign solutions. Enter Swiss Subnet. It's offering exactly what these institutions need: sovereign infrastructure under Swiss law on a platform that can actually compete with traditional cloud in terms of capability. This is where the story gets really compelling, because Swiss Subnet isn't just some random crypto project. The person leading it has serious political credentials. The company is headed by Cedric Schmid. From 2021 to 2024, he was president of the FDP in Canton Zug. That's the Free Democratic Party, Switzerland's center-right liberal party. And Canton Zug isn't just any canton. It's the home of Crypto Valley and has invested nearly 40 million Swiss francs into blockchain research. Before the cantonal role, Schmid led the FDP in the city of Zug and served as finance chief of the party at the cantonal level. This is deep political involvement in the exact region that's most invested in blockchain technology. And here's the kicker. The FDP's national parliamentary leader Damien Cottier has been publicly advocating for Swiss digital sovereignty. He's on record saying that digital transformation of government administration is vitally necessary and that Switzerland has fallen behind. So when Swiss Subnet launches sovereign blockchain infrastructure for institutions, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's happening within a political ecosystem that's actively pushing for exactly this kind of solution. Now let's talk about the Liechtenstein connection, because this is where ICP crosses into state-backed infrastructure. In October 2025, Swiss Subnet became an early contributor to something called the Liechtenstein Trust Integrity Network, or LTIN. This is a sovereign blockchain infrastructure network, and here's what makes it significant. It's majority owned by Telekom Liechtenstein, which is a fully state-owned entity. Think about that for a second. A state-owned telecommunications company is extending its national infrastructure into blockchain, and Swiss Subnet is part of that from day one. LTIN operates under Liechtenstein's Blockchain Act, which was the world's first comprehensive blockchain legislation legislation and it aligns with EU MiCA regulations. The launch partners are credible European crypto institutions. Bankfrick, which is Liechtenstein's pioneer blockchain bank. Bitcoin Suisse, Switzerland's largest crypto financial services firm. Plus Zilliqa and Solstice Labs. The LTIN chairman Franz Wirnsperger put it plainly. They're building trusted infrastructure where validation, identity, and transaction processing remain under national oversight. Their position in Liechtenstein, combined with state backing, creates the foundation that enterprises need to confidently embrace blockchain. For ICP, this means Internet Computer Protocol technology is now operating within a state-backed European blockchain infrastructure. But political connections and state partnerships don't matter if there's no path to actual customers. This is where Swiss Subnet's business development connections become important. The person leading business development at Swiss Subnet is Dennis Platzel. Before this role, he was Senior Growth Manager at Inacta Ventures, which is the venture-building arm of one of Crypto Valley's most connected organizations. Inacta's founder, Ralf Glabischnig, is a founding member of both the Crypto Valley Association and the Swiss Blockchain Federation. His network has delivered blockchain projects for some serious names. We're talking EXA, the global insurance giant, Swiss Post, which is the National Postal Service, Raiffeisen Bank, Switzerland's third-largest banking group, Visa, and E.ON, the German utility giant, through a Roland Berger partnership. Platzel also hosts ICP Lab events at DFINITY's Zurich headquarters and organizes Web3 Fest, an annual event series that's featured speakers including Edward Snowden, Ethereum co-founder Mihai Alesi, and Zug's finance minister Heinz Tendler, who also serves as president of the Swiss Blockchain Federation. So Swiss Subnet isn't starting from zero on enterprise relationships. They're plugged into an existing pipeline of Swiss banks, insurance companies, and utilities that have already worked with Inacta on blockchain projects. Here's what I think most people are missing. Swiss Subnet doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a broader institutional strategy DFINITY has been quietly building. Think about the United Nations partnership. In July 2024, DFINITY partnered with the UN Development Programme and the Monetary Authority of Singapore to implement Universal Trusted Credentials. This is a blockchain-based digital credentialing system for small businesses. They're piloting it in Cambodia with plans to scale to 10 countries. The UN Assistant Secretary General called it a pivotal moment for digital inclusion. Then there's the ETH Zurich partnership. DFINITY is an official industry partner at one of Europe's most prestigious research institutions alongside Google, Microsoft, Swisscom, and Schneider Electric. That gives them direct access to cutting-edge AI research and the talent pipeline from one of the world's top technical universities. DFINITY has also showcased its technology at the Swiss Federal Palace, where Federal Councillor Guy Parmelin personally welcomed guests. This visibility at the highest levels of Swiss government isn't something most blockchain projects can claim, and the research credentials speak for themselves. DFINITY's R&D operation includes over 1,600 publications, more than 100,000 citations, and 250 plus patents. Many employees come from IBM, Google, or ETH Zurich. It carries all of this institutional validation with it. So let's bring this back to what it means for us as ICP holders. First, this is government-adjacent credibility. For years, we've watched DFINITY build impressive technology while waiting for adoption to catch up. Swiss Subnet represents a different approach. Rather than waiting for governments to discover ICP, it's positioning ICP infrastructure directly within state-backed frameworks. Second, there's a real enterprise pipeline. Through the Inacta connection, Swiss Subnet has access to organizations that have already worked on blockchain projects and are familiar with the technology. Third, regulatory clarity. Operating under Swiss and Liechtenstein law means operating under two of the world's most progressive and clear blockchain regulatory frameworks. Swiss Subnet can offer enterprises something most blockchain infrastructure simply cannot: legal certainty. And fourth, this creates a template. If Swiss Subnet succeeds, it creates a model for sovereign ICP subnets in other jurisdictions. The European subnet was the proof of concept. Swiss Subnet is the institutional implementation. For me personally, as someone who's been in this community since 2018 and has my tokens locked at max dissolve, this is the kind of news I've been waiting for. Real infrastructure plays with real institutional backing. If you found this breakdown useful, hit subscribe. I cover ICP news and analysis regularly, and I try to give you the context that actually matters for understanding where this ecosystem is headed. I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about sovereign subnet plays like this? Is this the kind of institutional bridge ICP has been missing, or are you skeptical until we see actual enterprise deployments? Drop your thoughts below. I'll see you in the next one.